So Keith, so last week when we were discussing episode 4, you had some thoughts about it. There were some things that you don't like about the show, and you expressed your opinion very clearly. Now that you've seen episode
It's
5,
not gotten any better for me.
it's not getting any better for you. All
By the
right.
way, time to address the audience. Hello.
Hello, everyone. All right. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to talk about, I was hoping that maybe Keith would change his mind with episode 5, but it looks like it's too little too late. So thank you so much for joining us. This is Father Son Galaxy. I am Kerwin. This is Keith. If it's your first time, welcome. If you've been here before, thanks for coming back. Let's talk about episode 5 of Marvel's Secret Invasion called Harvest. All right.
By the way, at the end of this episode, I'm just going to snap myself out of existence.
Is that bad, huh? Okay. All right. Well,
Bye.
let's talk about it. And please feel free to leave your comments.
Let us know what you thought.
What you like about the episode, what you didn't like. We're gonna lay it all on the table. Okay, here we go. Let's start with graphic. I don't. Kingsley Benadir is a great actor. He's very very good at what he does. The problem I'm having now with his character is that we know how bad he is.
Yeah, but it
just
it feels like they keep demonstrating how
more
superpowered
evil
he
can
is
be.
and how pragmatic he is. But we already knew that. It's not making this any better. He already killed 2 of the main characters.
Yeah.
We get it. Okay, we get it.
Yeah, I feel the same way about that. I don't. You don't need to show how much more evil he could be.
And he can't die. Fury literally.
Fury's gonna figure it out.
He went straight through his face, and Gravik just went. And Taylor's bong in the hand, and my dude just pulled his hand right out and went.
Yeah.
He can't die. This man turned into Groot, just grabbing people.
Yeah.
He can't die. We can't win with this man.
Well, I'm not going to say that. I'm sure Fury's going to find a way to defeat Gravik. We don't know how, but he's going to go down. It's inevitable. Anyway, because he's so bad, you know what I mean? Like you're at a point now, like, man, I don't like this character. I really want Fury to step up and take him out. This is how
because
I'm feeling.
But one of the things about villains is that you have to make them relatable on some level. Like, if you want to have a villain that is convincing and realistic, they can't be one-dimensional. Like, Gravik is just a killing machine. I don't think anything matters to him except winning, and he's not a very good villain. Like, Kingsley Benadir's acting skills are the best I've seen so far.
Yep.
But, I just don't like the character.
Yeah, I got you. I think you have an excellent point.
And once they introduced these super Skrulls, they gave them everything. They gave them Extremis, Flora Colossus, Cull Obsidian, Frost Beast. I mean, they have everything.
Yeah.
How are they supposed to be beat?
Yeah, well, Fury's going to find out. All right. Well, anyway, yeah, you have an excellent point. He does seem one-dimensional. Like you're not really seeing like a balanced.
Yeah, I'm not getting any backstory. I'm not seeing Gravik trying to show sympathy for his soldiers, but also staying loyal to the cause. I just see him killing whoever gets in his way to get some far-off end goal.
Yeah.
And more importantly, he's willing to sacrifice an entire town of his own people just to start a war with America. Why?
Yeah, a war
between
U.S. and Russia.
With the 8 billion people on planet Earth, it would take longer to start a world war and kill everyone than it would to just find a new planet. Like, what do you think? What do you think Asgard was doing after Ragnarok? They were out there for a year till 2018.
Right. You know what? You just raised a good point about finding another planet. Put a pin in that because I want to talk about that. All right. So last week I thought maybe Beto might have been working for Fury. Turns out that's not the case. I wish it was the case because I think this character should have been given more to do.
Yeah, I feel like Beto was just kind of
Yeah.
there. And he was always nervous because he's like, what's Gravik going to do next? But we never really explored that until this episode when he was finally like, I've had enough. I think it's time for you to go, Gravik. And then put a plastic bag over the man's head. That's not very helpful in any way. Like, a plastic bag, you could have grabbed, like, something bigger. And his Groot arms are just going to shatter straight through that. And he eventually did do that. I mean, they actually had him there because he turned back to Skrull form. And what I'm understanding about Skrulls is that when they overexerted their energy, they shapeshift back to their Skrull form to conserve some power to focus on whatever they're trying to do. Like, when Talos got hit and he was turning half Skrull to just kind of try to save energy on that side. Like, that's what Skrulls do. But,
Well, okay. So let's
and
talk.
then he just got rid of them all. He threw Beto through a glass window. And then got rid of him in front of everyone. And then started shouting like, who wants it? Nobody cares. Nobody else wants to smoke with you. Go away.
Okay. I want to talk about that scene a little bit more.
I don't.
Well, you said enough, I think.
Yeah.
Liz,
I think my point's spoken.
Yes, it is. Yeah. Can I have a point here at some point?
Yeah.
All right. So let me talk about, I want to talk about this scene. Yeah. Back to Beto. I really hope that they would have given him more to do. I think he would have made a good ally for Fury because he's right there. He is in the thick of it, with Gravik and whatever Gravik is up to. So to have this scene now where we had, I don't remember the other character's name that Gravik took out, but one of his allies, okay. For some reason, all of a sudden is now angry with Gravik because, he's not doing things right. And he just calls him out in front of everybody for some reason, the entire Skrull community. And of course, we knew what was coming. But now Beta, all this time, was very nervous and very scared.
And all
now
of a sudden,
has
he
the
got
courage.
audacious and bold.
Right, yeah. So where did this come from? Right.
Yeah, was he working up the courage for the past 4 episodes?
Yeah. And then what were these guys planning to do with Gravik? So, they start, like you said, they put the bag over his head and they grabbed him and they put him on the table and they started beating him. But for what? To do what? It's like, what were they planning
kill
to do?
Him, I guess. But
really? Okay.
The thing is,
yeah.
My plan would have just been torch him.
Torch him?
Grab a lighter and light him on fire.
Okay. All right.
Please.
Let's go to Q&A. All right. So, Charlie, can you imagine? Hello, Charlie, by the way. Hello. Can you all imagine if Gravik got DNA from the battlefield if he got the Mad Titans as well, a.k.a. Thanos?
Oh, my God. If he got Thanos' DNA, we literally cannot get rid of him. If you have Thanos, Groot, the Frost Beast, Cull Obsidian, and Aldrich Killian in your veins, first off, how are you not dead? Extremis emits temperatures up to 3,000 degrees Celsius. So that could burn you. Like, I get that Skrulls have some sort of heat resistance because when that dude's blood started boiling at 320 degrees Fahrenheit,
he survived
that somehow.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. This DNA, I mean, I don't know if I might have missed something, but the DNA, apparently he's looking for the Avengers DNA, right? Is that what you got from this?
Yeah, okay. He's trying to get the Avengers DNA, but he already is Groot. He already is Cull Obsidian. I'm really mad that they did that to Groot. I'm mad they did that. He already has Cull Obsidian as a Frost Beast. He has Extremis.
Yes.
Why do you need the Avengers DNA? Extremis breathes fire, shoots fireballs from their hands, emits extreme heat. Frost beasts, enough said, you can emit extreme cold temperatures and also breathe cold. Groot can extend his limbs at any given time and also regenerate quickly, same with Extremis. And then from Amphibian is a strong brute. So you
Correct.
can
It's
slam
like the
things
Fantastic
very
Four.
quickly.
Right. That's what you have, the Fantastic Four. Let's go
Yeah,
back to
yeah,
Q&A.
Human Torch. I guess the Frost is similar to like Invisible Woman.
That's
You have
right.
the Groot, which is Mr. Fantastic, and then Call Obsidian, which is the thing.
Alex, thank you for joining us tonight. You
They're
say,
just doing these Fantastic Four references and not giving us the Fantastic Four.
yes, Gravik is Machiavellian, but a bit too much so with his latest plan. Prior to his latest plan, I thought he was okay, but the latest plan and killing his lieutenant went over the line. I feel the same way, Alex. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. Now, yeah, at some point he's got, it happens to villains, if depends on what kind of villain, how it's written, there are the three-dimensional villains and you have the one-dimensional villain. He's reached a point of no return, right? He's not going to become good in episode 6. He's going to get his, he's going to get his, right? So I think that's what the writers, I don't know. I wouldn't call it, I think it's predictable writing to say, okay, well, make the villain as evil as possible so that when he gets what's coming to him, everybody cheers and go, yay!
Like something I really loved about Infinity War is that you never knew what was coming. Like Thanos, he had a noble cause. What he was trying to do was prevent overpopulation, which is what happened to his home.
Yes.
That's why Titan was destroyed, or so he believes, because there were too many people and the resources were drained.
I agree with that.
And he respected Tony Stark. He saw the genius in him. He saw his desire to save Earth. And he understood. He was on the same level as Tony Stark in a way. He fought the Avengers with the level of respect that's commendable for any villain. And when he reached his goal, he didn't laugh and take the L in front of the villains. I mean, the good guys. He contemplated.
Yeah, it was
He
bittersweet,
contemplated
right?
what he had done.
Because he had to sacrifice a lot.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
See, that's the thing. But Gravik, we're just setting him up so that when he finally gets chucked through a window or whatever they do to him, everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, get him!" Like it's so predictable.
Yeah. So, Eric, thank you for joining us. We totally understand your stand. I haven't seen episode 5 because I refused to utilize Disney Plus during the SAG and the Writers Guild strike. Absolutely understandable, but I can still say hello. Thank you so much for taking the time to say hello. Yeah.
SAG wag.
Yes. SAG wag. Alex, they are trying to launch a coup, albeit a poorly planned one. They should have waited and planned it out rather than go at it impulsively as they did. Right. My point.
Yeah,
That's
like
my
you
point.
can't
What
just.
what were you doing instead of acting like thugs and beating the leader who you can't beat?
See, I think one of the issues I have is that I don't even know if they corroborated on this because everyone just kind of jumped together. But what they should have done was catch Gravik when he's off his guard, when he's at his highest, like when he's giving a speech. You guys line up behind him and you beat him down there.
Yeah.
Then what you could do is when Gravik fights back, you should have also taken the Super Skrull serum. So that way you'll be on the same level as Gravik. Even if you're not the best fighter, you'll have his same abilities and you can match him tit for tat in that fight. And if there's more of you, like the 5 give or take people who are trying to attack Gravik, and they've all taken the Super Scroll serum, you are on his level and you outnumber him 5 times as much.
Good.
So you could easily beat Gravik up and win the day. Then after that, you could take over, call off the bombing of New Skrullos, call Rhodey, because all these Skrulls can change their voice. or Rava.
Yeah.
So all of the Skrulls have an ability where they can change their voice.
Yeah.
So even if you're shapeshifting as somebody else, you can also shapeshift your voice. Like if you wanted to go on the phone and call Rhodey and be like, "We need you to call up the strike on New Skrullos. Tell the president not to do it. Tell the president it'll cause a World War III." And this whole World War III scenario, First of all, it's the 5th episode. If World War III does happen, the last episode is going to be an hour and a half long. Like, one of the things Stranger Things does well is setting up its plot. Because even though the episodes are slow, once you get to the penultimate and the finale, it's really worth it. Like, the finale of season 4 is 2 hours.
Okay. Don't give it away.
I'm not going to spoil anything. I'm not going to spoil anything.
Okay.
But it is 2 hours long. It is action-packed, and you're feeling it the entire way. Where Secret Invasion, you're kind of riding the high, and then you just dip.
Yeah.
Like,
is there anything else we want to say about Gravik? Can we move on to any of the other characters?
I think I'm going to stop dishing on Gravik.
Okay. All right. So let's move on. Let's talk about Gaia and Vara. Okay.
Yeah. One critique I have about Gaia's character.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they're not giving her much to do.
Gaia?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Like, she was giving information to Talos and Fury for like an episode. And then after that, she walked away from her father and called him a failure and just left him. And that was the last thing she said to him. I felt like that was lackluster. And then nobody seemed to care that Talos was dead. Like, Fury, he said one line, like, oh, don't let grief overcome you. And I'm like, dude, you just saw what happened to your friend. Like, how are you not sad? How are you not upset about that?
Yeah.
And then Guy is just like, well, I gotta do something now. Okay. And the rest of it, and she meets up with Vara. And one of the other critiques I have about this show is that there was like a 2-minute action sequence where they are just shooting down Skrulls, and there's stuff splattered all over the wall, and they're just getting utterly decimated. There's smoke, there's broken glasses, like the entire home gets wrecked, and I feel like that wasn't necessary. This episode was unnecessarily violent to me.
Yes, that's true. I thought the violent content was a little bit higher than the last 4 episodes. So yeah, I do agree with that. Let's go to Q&A. I saw Alex's question. I want to answer that question. So do you think that Marvel should have 8 or 10 episodes to allow more room to flesh out characters and stories?
So you want to take it first?
Well, yeah, I just want to say, I don't know if it has anything to do with the number of episodes. I think you could tell a great story with 6 episodes, but it really has to be written very, very well.
Moon Knight.
Moon Knight as an example. Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Loki.
Was that 6 episodes? I don't know. Okay. Yeah. So I don't think the number of episodes matter. I mean, think about it. Like, if this was a movie, then this is 3 2-hour movies, right? Mm-hmm. You can tell a lot. You can put in a lot of plot development and character development into 6 hours.
The thing about a TV show,
so I don't think 8 or 10 episodes would make a difference.
Tightly crammed.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, a movie is so tightly crammed that what you're watching is kind of a synopsis of a TV show. But if it was a TV show, you get much more time because it's spaced out into a more backpackable 6 or 8 or 9 episodes that you can watch every week and be like, oh, this is good. This is great. I like this. I enjoyed this part. Like, the first show was WandaVision, and that had 9 episodes and did great with it. Every episode was utilized to make the next better. Every plot line was better than the last. And another show that got 6 episodes, What If? None of the plots were tied up until the last episode, but they were all good nonetheless. Some went dark, some went light, some went comedic, and some went crazy. But they were all great in their own ways. She-Hulk, everything tied together. I don't really know if we needed 9 episodes for that, but it was still a good show with the 9 episodes that it did get.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I don't understand why Secret Invasion couldn't get 9 episodes. I feel like it still would have been more dragged out.
Yeah.
But at least they would have had some time to take some creative liberties. And one of the other critiques I have of the show is
there's more?
Oh, there's much more. I have an entire arsenal. I wrote a list on the wall that's so long that it took up 10 of the wall.
All right, here. Let's keep our time limit.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Secret Invasion is supposed to be the big canonical event in the Prime universe. Everything comes down. Like, you got the Avengers, you got the X-Men, you got the Ant people, like Ant-Man Wasp and the other Ant-Man and the Wasp. You got the Fantastic Four, you got Nick Fury, you got Shield, you got Hill, and all of them are working together, and all the reveals are dragged out. But you don't know it yet. You'll notice little clues. You'll be picking them up, and all of a sudden, reveal, and it's climactic. It's like, oh my gosh, I never saw this coming, but this is priming the pump for the rest of the series. But Secret Invasion, it's so small scale that most of the plot lines in the show, I mean, in the comics, never carried over in the show. It's like they reinvented the wheel, but the wheel didn't have any spokes. Like,
Well, I don't.
I felt like this was so small scale. It's like we're keeping it inside Shield and MI6. That's it.
Well,
As compared to we're getting everybody we have in the MCU right now, or in the comics universe, and we're gonna smash them together in the biggest event to ever hit the comics.
I think you put a lot of pressure on this series, but
Well, I'm not
what makes this
saying
small
it
scale?
had to be
Well,
everybody.
what makes it small scale? Because we don't have any superheroes in the series?
Yeah, all we have
Well,
is like
do they all have to have superheroes?
well, that's kind of the point of Marvel to have marvelous superheroes.
I see.
Every Marvel movie has been centered, or every Marvel movie and TV show has been centered around some superhero or someone with powers.
Gotcha.
Secret Invasion broke this trend,
Yeah.
and I'm not really sure I like it. I mean, we haven't gotten a single superpowered sighting yet, other than the Skrulls, and I'm talking about good guys. Like, Secret Invasion is about Nick Fury, but it's supposed to be about the greater Marvel universe, like everybody in that world fighting to stop the Skrull invasion, and it all comes to the head with Norman Osborn when he. I don't want to give it away, but something happens. Also, there's a Skrull Queen who is ruling over all the Skrulls and sending them out.
Is this in
So
the comic books?
comics,
Okay,
yeah.
gotcha. All right. Let's go back to Q&A. Let's see what we have. So, Alex,
Also agreed that The Falcon and the Winter Soldier did better with 6 episodes. Ditto at Moon Knight, though I think they could have both used more episodes. I think both are better than Secret Invasion. Yeah,
and well, let me just talk about that point, Alex. So, you think they would it would have served them better to add a few more episodes? It's not because that the 6 episodes wasn't satisfying, but you just wanted more, right? And I think
no,
that.
I just wanted to see them
Well, I'm
explore.
talking to
I
Alex.
know that.
No, I just want to understand. Like, did you think that 6 episodes wasn't enough to cover the series, or did you enjoy it so much that you wish there were more episodes? That's a big difference, right? Because um, if you have 6 episodes and you were the entire series was great, yeah, it left you wanting more. But Secret Invasion apparently is not in the same boat, right, as some of these
Yeah,
other series,
as
right?
far
So
as I've checked, it's one of the lowest
it's
rated Marvel.
yeah,
It's one of the lowest rated Rotten Tomato Marvel shows. I
yeah,
don't know how much Inhumans got, but if Inhumans has 61% Rotten Tomatoes or more, it is better than Secret Invasion.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
this series has been controversial. I'm
I can see
you
why.
know what, I actually obviously enjoy the series more than you do. Is it great? No, it's not great, but it still keeps my attention. It keeps me wanting to
I mean,
see how it's going to end. But I'll tell you, this is not an example of a series. Oh, I wish it had 9, 10 episodes, because I think 6 is enough, because it really hasn't given me,
it's not picking up.
right. It's not giving me that feeling like, wow, I want this to continue. I want it to stop at 6 episodes, because like you said, I mean, it's on this roller coaster. Um,
Yeah, we're
but it's
going
still
up and
entertaining. But I
down.
don't think it needs more than 6 episodes.
Like, if this was the only show on
Yeah.
Marvel, and it is right now, this is the only new show, I would watch it. But if there was a Star Wars show out right now, cue up the Disney Plus. All right, we're watching that.
Alex says a bit of both. A bit of both, right? So you wanted more because it was so great, but you thought it could have served a better purpose if it had more episodes. Got it. But I think the final episodes of both of Moon Knight and Falcon and Winter Soldier and many of the other MCU shows were a bit rushed and could have used an episode or two more to prevent how rushed some episodes were.
Yeah, the ending
Gotcha.
of Moon Knight was like 40 minutes, which was surprising because the first episode was longer than that. So was the second and third.
Gotcha. Okay.
Any more comments?
Yeah. Okay. So let's go back and continue talking about Gara and Var. So Gaia, I'm sorry. Um, we'll come back. Do we have another? Okay, let's see what we have here. Okay.
Down.
Hello, Dallas. Thank you for
Hello.
joining us. Good to have you. Good to have you. Thank you so much. All right. So Vara, let's talk about Gaia first, right? Because Gaia is now you're just talking about grieving. People
Sort of.
grieve, or people grieve differently. So maybe Fury is not that type of person who is going to, sit in a corner and ponder and cry or whatever. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Like I said, people grieve differently. Gaia, you could tell that she is very distraught about losing her dad. Um, well, especially because of the last words she said to her father, so she can't take that back. So she's grieving. She has her father's body, and she's getting ready for burial. And now Vara. Let's talk about Vara. So Vara, of course, is on the run because she had an assignment. She was given an assignment by Rhodey to take out Fury, and which she could not do. So now people are after her. You mentioned about it was a great action scene. It was violent, yes, it was, but it was a great action scene. Seeing Gaia and Vara taking on these bad guys. But I wanted to mention something that a conversation that the two of them were having before that took place, the battle. Gaia mentioned something. She's very, very slick about it, right? She dropped in just to see what Vara's response was going to be. But she talked about her skin, Vara's skin. Is she allowed to be herself in front of Fury? Because, as we mentioned, when we first found out that she was a Skrull, Vara, Fury's wife, I mentioned the fact that maybe Fury prefers her to have the human skin, right? Because he doesn't want to maybe have the reminder that he married a Skrull. So every time Vara and Fury are together, she has the human skin. So what Guy is trying to find out, okay, well, can you ever be yourself in front of Fury? And Vara got very offended. She said, that's none of your business. Just something I brought up there. So just wanted to bring that up. Anything else we want to talk about with Gara and Vara?
Alex, good point about the action. They probably did try to keep the action feature in the MCU, but it was out of place and totally inconsistent too.
Hmm?
Yeah, like for like with that shoot 'em up scene with Gaia and Vara,
Yeah.
like that took place literally right after a burial. That wasn't even somber. I just felt like you gotta be kidding me. Why is he dead? And then we move on, and it's like pew 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 action sequence.
Yeah.
I fell out of place.
Right. All right. So are we done talking about Gaia and Vara?
Yes.
Anything else? Okay. All right. So let's move on to two more characters that we saw that were prominent in this episode. We're going to talk about Fury and talk about Farnsworth. All right. Sonya. Fallsworth. I keep calling it Farnsworth. Sonya. Now, so Sonya found the facility where the doctors are located, the ones who created the Super Scroll serum. She took care of business. Another violent scene. Um, but so now I'm trying to figure now something that I did not enjoy about this episode was there was a lot of exposition. In the last few minutes of the episode, we had Sonya and Fury flying to Finland. Don't know why he's going to Finland. And he's got a grave site, apparently,
Yes.
and he has them all over the world, it sounds like. I don't know why. But
So, by the way, TWS reference, the Winter Soldier.
Mhm.
of course the world thinks he's dead again because Fury hasn't exhausted that one yet. Infinity War, Saber.
Good point. Yeah, good
Like
point.
Fury has been thought dead 3 times. Once was in the Winter Soldier, then the next time was in Infinity War, and the next time was between Endgame and Secret Invasion where he was on Saber. So, and now he's doing this again. And if you have gravestones all over the world,
Yeah.
that's suspicious.
Did you include the blip?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Infinity War, the blip.
Gotcha. Right. Okay.
So that didn't make sense.
Yeah. Yeah. So there was a lot of explanation as to
Yeah. Something that annoys me
yeah.
is that we haven't really gotten a chance to just see what happened to Fury that made him go up on Saber and made everybody forget about him. And then when he came back, everyone's like, "You're different. You're different. You're different. Oh my God, you came back different." Like, when are we gonna actually learn what made him so different?
Is that important? Even
Yeah,
at this point, like, do we
I think
care
so.
why he was? Okay. All right.
I care because
Gotcha.
nobody's ever answered.
All right. Well,
So we're just
okay.
kind of here going like, all right, I'll go with it. And we still don't know.
Okay.
And by the way, like in episode 5 of every show, the main character gets their new costume.
Really? You researched that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's
Remember
cool.
in Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
Yeah. Sam. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
Sam
true.
got his costume.
Yeah.
She-Hulk got hers in, what was that, episode 8?
Mm-hmm.
But that was like right. My point is, it's still right before the last episode, so that still counts. Who else?
Yeah. And
Wanda got a new costume in the last episode.
and then Fury. So again, things are a little confusing with okay, so the president of the United States, there was a hit on the president. I'm still trying to figure out where is this president's detail. I didn't see not one secret service around. Fury is the one that's taking this president, rolling this president on a gurney into the emergency room. There's no other people around him.
You'd think Secret Service would have flanked the president and waited in the hospital room with him to make sure that nobody came in to try to take him out.
Yeah, it's just it's inconsistent, the storytelling, and it's unreal.
Yeah, because
you can't have that.
Secret Service is there in one scene, and then the president's unguarded. Like, suppose Fury had evil intentions, and you just let the president get carried off in this random man's car.
Yeah, it was odd to see that, okay, this president is being treated like a patient, like any other patient.
Yeah, they're treating him like he's a 5-year-old.
People all around the president when he goes out. It's not just Nick Fury.
You ever see the president taking a walk? Yeah. That's the point. You don't. Exactly. They're covered in Secret Service.
Yes, you're right. That's true. So I just thought that was unreal. And even when Rhodey came in to the room, the emergency room, why wasn't there anybody else in the room?
Exactly. Secret Service. Because Rhodey. Right. And if Secret Service was there, they should have stopped him, patted him down to make sure he didn't have anything, and if he did, throw it across the room. So
Alex says, I wonder why Fury didn't shoot Skrull, Rhodey, earlier to expose him as unless Secret Service.
See,
well, I guess
here's one thing. There's a trick that Sonya Fallsworth showed us.
Yeah.
If you hit a Skrull somewhere, like how she shot that dude in the hand,
yes,
it will expose that area of their hand. I don't know if it's involuntary or not, but the area that's hurt will turn back to Skrull form to conserve energy.
Right. So Alex's point.
Let's do this.
Okay.
Look at that. That's a Sharpie dot.
Yeah.
And now my hand should be green. So,
I get it.
If Fury didn't want to kill Rhodey, why did he just do that?
Well,
and then be like, hold on, Secret Service. Look, if you'll spare me 2 seconds of your time.
Okay, well, that's not how it works. Okay. Well, whoever the detail, I guess it was Secret Service around Rhodey.
Yeah, exactly. They were around Rhodey, not the president.
Rhodey has more Secret Service than the president. But anyway.
Is Rhodey the president now? I don't know.
These 2 Secret Service agents had their guns drawn on Fury, so Fury was not going to risk his life and shoot Rhodey
Yeah,
in front
but
of
they
them.
drew their guns after.
No, that's not true. No, as
I mean,
soon
remember when the
that's not
entire firing
that's
squad
not
came out?
how you're trained. As soon as even before somebody pulls out a firearm, if it looks like they're going for something, Secret Service is right there, ready for you. Okay, so that was not the place and time for Fury to take Rhodey out. But anyway, so and then Sonya, eh, Olivia Colman, she's loving this
Great
character.
acting.
She's wonderful. I mean, everything she does, she's just so, and she's always wearing red. She's so light, and she's sarcastic, and she's funny, and she's
A gem.
one step ahead of everybody else. So she is really wonderful, wonderful to this series, wonderful character. So, all right. So, I think we covered pretty much all we wanted to talk about, unless you think we missed something. So you did do some research right before we came on the air or streaming, and you looked at the Rotten Tomato scores, and you did confirm that Secret Invasion has one of the lowest, or at least the lowest score of any Marvel series. Um, that's a question for people out there. Why do you think that?
Inhumans got 11% Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah. So okay. Well, that's DOA. Yeah. So what? Yeah,
See,
why?
they didn't
Why
never
so
did.
low? I mean, I was very shocked to see that the number would be. What is the number again? Rotten Tomatoes for
60.
60 out of 100, right?
Yep.
And that's low. That's pretty low. Um, I Yeah, I can't tell you. I mean, I can only tell you how I feel about it. I still enjoy it. I'm looking forward to episode 6. Oh, by the way, the last scene, Fury is back. He's got the eye patch and he's
Oh
got the
yeah,
cap on
he
with the leather
apparently
jacket.
has
Shaft Fury, he's he's
see
John
good old
Shaft Fury.
Fury's back.
Okay. And then he makes a phone call and he says to someone, "Okay, let's do this." So who are we going to see?
I don't
Let
know.
me know what you think. Will it be Captain Marvel? Will it be some other Marvel? Let me know what you
Probably.
think. My money is on Captain Marvel. It has to be because the Marvels is coming out
Come on, it's
in
gotta be Captain
November.
Marvel.
Yeah, just a few months away. So Carol Danvers' name has been mentioned. I didn't even count how many times her name has come up in this series.
She's
So
getting name dropped quick.
if she does not show up, then this
This has been a
series
waste of
was
time.
all for nothing. You know what I mean? It just makes sense. If you're going to talk about Carol Danvers, bring back Miss Marvel.
And another thing, Secret
Captain Marvel.
Invasions. Secret Invasion of the comics was so split.
Yeah.
You had Thor, you had X-Men, you had War
Final
Pigs, you had
comments. Please
Frontline,
provide your final comments.
Fantastic Four, The Saga, Requiem,
Yeah.
Inhumans,
While you're looking
Runaways,
at that, Alex, well,
Dark
the show
Reign,
has its flaws, but I think one reason why the score is low
Spider-Man.
is because MCU is typically fast-paced and action-packed, and Secret Invasion is more of a slow burn spy political thriller
Ray Bill.
without superheroes, right? So that could be a factor. There is some speculation that Daisy Johnson, but I think Monica is likelier. I wouldn't mind seeing Monica and Daisy. Daisy Johnson.
Yeah.
Do you know who that is?
Yeah, that's the Quake.
Okay, yeah, give me more information.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, okay, all right. Okay, I don't know much about it. Okay, is she a superhero or is she
Good guy.
just a,
Good guy.
that's it?
Works
Okay,
for S.H.I.E.L.D.
that's all I need to know.
That's all you need to know.
Okay, all right.
There's a quakey thing
Yeah.
she wears on her wrist.
All right, so we did have a few announcements. To be honest with you, I don't have them in front of me, but we do have the expo coming up in August. One in Boston, one in Chicago. Um, the dates for Boston is August 3rd to the 6th, I believe, and then Chicago is the 10th to the 14th. But, we've already gave out that information. I don't know what's going to happen as far as celebrities being at these expos because of the strike. Unfortunately,
Strike.
yeah. So we don't know. And we got Podathon coming up in September. We'll still be here. We are not a part of the Screen Actors Guild or the Writers Guild, so we will continue to bring you content. We would love having you continue to watch and listen to us. So we will be around. Okay, we'll get through this. Once again, we're racing to 1,000 subscribers. We're close. All right. Anything else you want to tell everybody where they can find us?
You can find us wherever you get your podcasts, our socials, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Fathers and Galaxy. Website, fathersandgalaxy.com. Merch store, fathersandgalaxy.myspreadshop.com. Email us at ker@fathersandgalaxy.com. Please donate to our Patreon page, patreon.com/fathersandgalaxy. I can't believe but I say that again. I feel like I said that already. Did I?
No.
Live streams are Wednesdays and Sundays, as always.
Yes.
Please sub to our channel. We are 50 subs away from 1K. Help us reach our goal, please.
Yeah.
We're going to be at Podathon September 9th, 2023. Join us at Fan Expo Boston and Chicago.
Yes.
And check out the Redemption of Jar Jar Binks wherever you get your podcast.
Yes, thank you. If you've listened to that podcast, let me know. I want to know what you think about it. It's awesome. It's really, truly wonderful to listen to. All right, so that is it. If there are any, Alex says, have fun at the cons, enjoy Boston, Chicago. Thank you so much. Anybody out there who's actually listening who is from those areas, let us know. Like, what do you recommend for us to eat or to sightsee? Let us know. I've never been to Chicago. The family have never been to Chicago, all of us. Boston, I've been once, long time ago. I don't quite remember. Yeah, I don't like. I was about to say I don't even remember. Well, other than seeing Harvard, I don't remember what else we did there. But yeah, so let us know. Where we should stay, where what we should see, what we should eat. Any recommendations you have, that'd be awesome. All right, so Ahsoka and Bobby Yoon would appear. Wrong universe.
Alex, you gotta stop.
Yes. Oh, and by the way,
you're becoming a menace to society, buddy.
We'll pick up our Ahsoka. What do you want to call it? We're gonna do a dive on Ahsoka. Right? We're gonna talk about her time between the Clone Wars and the Book of Boba Fett. That time area, Rebels and Mandalorian. So we'll pick that up on Sunday. Food, pizza. Perhaps you should see the Michael Jordan statue if you like basketball. Didn't even know there was a Michael Jordan statue. All right.
You will have to check it out.
All right. We'll have to check that out. All right. So that is it, everyone. If there are no more comments or questions, thank you once again. We'll be back this Sunday. We're scheduled to be back on Sunday. Until next time, take care. We will see you again.